A powerful, elusive serial killer is on the loose, slaughtering 10 people.
The bite of the tiger is so tough that it can crush your brain in a flash second.
It's devastating families and terrifying communities.
A tiger attack, a tiger roar can make the blood of the best man turn into water.
Now, one man fights to save the endangered beast.
You have a duty towards the people of this country, and you have a duty to conserve the wildlife also.
While another man wants it dead.
Once an animal has turned into a man-eater, you cannot take the risk of playing around with human lives.
Can anyone stop the ruthless predator before it kills again? Deep in the heart of India, at the foot of the Himalayan mountains, are 7,000 acres of dense, precious natural forest. This is Corbett National Park, a safe haven, a last refuge for countless endangered creatures, including one of the rarest and most powerful apex predators on Earth, the Bengal tiger. But something has gone very wrong. And one of these majestic beasts, a fierce predator with ghost-like stealth, has lost its way.
The Bengal tiger is a beautiful animal, massive, and the very sight of it will mesmerize you.
The tiger is like steel, you touch his body and it's as firm as touching a rod of iron. And its canines are about 4.5 centimeters long. If they bite you on the nape, it just breaks your spinal cord.
In India, every year, there can be more than 100 big cat attacks. But most are isolated accidental run-ins. This one, in the northern district of Moradabad, is a cunning, elusive serial-killing man-eater, the worst in the region for centuries, and no one knows why. It stalked over 50 miles from its home, deep into human territory, killing and eating villager after villager. Beginning on December 29th, with a young man named Vijay Singh.
Vijay Singh had gone for answering nature's call outside near a pond of water, near a sugarcane field.
In the privacy of the cane, Vijay crouches down to watch a video on his mobile phone. He's completely unaware. He's not alone.
See, when you move through a tunnel of dense vegetation, they feel their way almost. Because of these long whiskers, they're able to find gaps that they can go through without making noise.
The tiger is such an enormous carnivore, a big cat that you will die out of shock instantly because the tiger attacks from behind. I don't think he would have realized that he has even died.
The head forestry officer of this district is Dr. Braham. In this country, his prestigious job is coveted and competed for by thousands, but it carries a heavy burden. He's responsible for protecting the forests and wildlife, but he's also responsible for protecting his people. And although he's tracked big cats before, this is his first man-eater.
During the training, we are exposed to identifying a tiger or tigresses and all, but never I really imagined that I'll have to face this challenge of chasing a tiger or a tigress. The first attack happened in my jurisdiction. I reached on the 29th morning around 11 or 11:30. There was a roadblock. People had put the dead body on the road. They wanted us basically to see. They opened up the sheet and showed us.
The powerful predator crushed the victim's neck. Its sharp fangs pierced his throat. But Brahma sees something even more disturbing.
The consumption of the human flesh, that was the main concern.
In one sitting, the ravenous tiger consumed nearly half of Vijay's body.
It's with great difficulty that they overcome the fear of humans, and after they make the first kill and they feed on humans, then they realize how easy it is to kill human beings. And once that initial fear is gone, they develop it to an art of killing human beings.
After that, I requested the villagers to let me go so that I can check the trail of the tiger. So they allowed me for some time.
He investigates the attack scene, looking for clues to the killer's identity. The big cat has left behind paw prints, called pug marks. But searching for prints in dense vegetation takes time. And both Brahma and the villagers are concerned the predator may still be lurking nearby.
By evening, the crowd became very restive, and some of them entered a sugarcane field also, where they suspected the tiger was there.
Brahma pleads with the villagers to stay away from the sugarcane, but the mob won't listen. One of the first to enter the field is Ramveer Singh.
कुछ नहीं, यहाँ पे हजारों आदमी थे, तो मैं देखने आया उनके साथ. जब मैं देखने आया तो मैं मेड़ के खेत पे जा रहा एक के उंगल से, उसने मेरे ऊपर झपट्टा मार दिया. गिरने के बाद में फिर मैं होश आया, तो मेरे परिवार वाले मुझे संभाल ले गए.
The tiger's second brutal attack makes the mob even more angry.
So after that, they started chasing us, they threw stones, they hurled, even sticks, and also we had to retreat a bit till the sunset. That was how we began the search for the tiger.
From the width and depth of the tiger's pug marks found at the scene, Brahma believes the killer is female. She weighs over 300 pounds, and she clearly has an enormous appetite.
The troublesome part was she ate, at least if you gauge by the amount of flesh, she has eaten more than 20 kilos. And once they get a taste of blood, they eat even human flesh also.
Brahma knows on average, tigers need 40 pounds of meat every week. He must act quickly before the tigress strikes again and another person dies. But as the head of a simple forestry office, the challenges are overwhelming.
Simple cages we didn't have. You don't have guns, you don't have tranquilizing darts, nothing.
He searches for 7 days, but the killer is too cunning. Her trail disappears. And then, 20 miles north, she strikes again. The tiger's victim is Rajiv Bishnoi, a young farmer who dies right in front of his father. 2 days later, the tigress attacks 19-year-old Kumari Shobha. And then, the killer attacks 2 more villagers. A man and a woman die. Each time, the treacherous tigress slips away unseen. The media begins to call her the mysterious queen.
There's a saying that you cannot see them, but they can see you in the forest, because they have to survive by their ability to remain concealed.
As Brahma investigates, a pattern quickly emerges. The stealthy tigress is using the tall, dense sugarcane to ambush its victims. The farmer's valuable harvest has become the killer's hunting ground.
If you see around September to November, sugarcane is a continuous crop without any breaks. And sugarcane for the tiger is also a forest. For the tiger, there is no boundary.
Tiger numbers have increased, and it's the natural population dynamics of the tigers is such that there's not enough room for tigers. They end up in these human-dominated landscapes. They don't like this landscape, but they are forced into it, and that's when the conflict emerges.
Then, after 2 weeks of terror, all goes silent. The attacks stop.
After 14th January, we thought that this is the end of the story. We had all gone back. 15 days, we didn't hear anything, and we were, in a way, happy that now things are over. She has merged with the system of forests.
But the mysterious queen's hunger for human flesh will not die. The mysterious queen, a cunning serial killer tigress, is terrorizing India. 5 men and women are dead already. Head Forestry Officer Dr.BC Braham has been searching day and night for any sign of the stealthy predator. And just when everyone thinks the terror is finally over, she goes back on the hunt. 44-year-old father, husband, and farmer Devendra Singh Saini is building a fence less than a mile from the forest. His son is nearby, but so is the silent, deadly predator.
हमारे पढ़ाई के लिए और हमारे घर का खर्च सारा हमारे पापा जी उठा रहे थे। हम तो कुछ करते भी नहीं हैं, बस पढ़ने के ही थे। हम तो मेहनत कर रहे थे और हमें पढ़ा रहे थे और घर का खर्च सारा उठा रहे थे। और जब से हमारे पापा जी के साथ ये हादसा हुआ, हमें बहुत तंगी हो गई है। जी सर, हम वहाँ पर जहाँ पर ये आम है वहाँ पर हमारे गेहूँ हैं, हम यहाँ पर थे और हम खेत पर काम कर रहे थे। यहाँ पर हमें 1-1:30 बज गया था करीब, तो वहाँ से हमारे पापा जी यहाँ तक आए थे। वहाँ से ऐसे घूम हमें पता चला था ये देखो टाइगर्स की पेड़ भी है, ये लग रहे हैं गिले है, तो कुछ ना कुछ बात है, तो हम भाग के आ गए थे।
चाहे 4-5 मिनट पड़ी थी वहाँ, तो जब देखा मगर मैंने कहा वो देखिए कैसा खच्चा पड़ा। जब उसके सामने देखते हुए चले गए, जब मिली जैकेट जब पता चला।
डर लगता है, काम करते रहते हैं और अपने चारों तरफ को देखते रहते हैं कि कहीं से आना जाए, ये बहुत डर लगता है।
Now, Brahma knows the serial killing tigress is back, and she's changed her methods.
Disturbing part of Devendra's attack is that the tigress is moving in the fringe of the forest, and the fringe of the forest is, all agricultural land. That the tigress has come out and attacked human being and dragged inside the forest, and the body was also eaten partially.
The killing of Devendra Singh, the ruthless tigress's 6th victim, changes everything. The public's grown impatient with Brahma's methodical investigative approach. They pressure the government to act and get results. The killer must be brought to justice, dead or alive, now.
They invited me to kill it or capture it. The option was mine, whatever I could do, but they wanted the man-eater to be contained.
A Ashish Dasgupta is a master hunter who specializes in big cats. He's trained with legendary trackers. He and his team have found and killed 30 man-eaters.
Going after big cats, I've been doing it for almost 40 years. The biggest challenge is to identify out the delinquent animal from amongst many good animals and then taking whatever action is necessary to be taken.
This decision to bring in expert hunters to kill the tigress doesn't sit well with local forestry officer Dr.BC Braham.
We have just 1,700 tigers left in India. So this is the last remaining population of a Bengal tiger. So conservation status is very critical. In a case of human-animal conflict, human takes the precedence in terms of importance. See, if the government has decided to eliminate the tiger, for us it's a part of duty. The shooters, I could get the sense of most of them wanting name and fame. That's what I felt. I may be wrong.
I made an offer to the government that if they needed my assistance, I was willing to do so in an honorary capacity. Any person who's a wildlife lover would naturally want the animal to be captured. But I also feel that sometimes it's absolutely necessary to shoot it.
The Bengal tiger, known as the mysterious queen, is still on the loose. She's killed 6 people in northern India already. Desperate to end the terror, the government has enlisted 9 shooting teams experienced in killing man-eaters, including one led by expert hunter Ashish Dasgupta.
When you see the anguish and you realize that it needs a very special breed of people to do it. And unfortunately, there's no course in any university which teaches this. It's usually handed down from a master to a pupil. You have to get into the mind of the predator. You have to think like the animal. And the first thing you have to do is you have to identify the territory in which the animal is working.
This is the best place to hide here. कौन सा?
We studied the terrain, we studied the maps.
ये धोलखंड सोत है और एक चोपड़ा सोत.
And we are very, very suspicious that the animal is between 2 areas known as Chopra Sot and Dholkhand Sot, yes.
This region, on the northwestern side of India's celebrated tiger reserve, Corbett National Park, is within 2 miles of the nearest village. The tigress could kill again at any moment. To cover as much ground as possible, the 9 different hunting teams head out separately. One group has a very personal stake in killing the man-eater. Indian princes Kunwar and Nawab.
We've been involved in destroying of 4 man-eaters. We've been living here for centuries, and this is our area, our forest, and our people are being plagued by this, so it's sort of a moral duty to come out and sort it out.
You see all these villagers living here, just now they're not working. So the whole area is terrorized.
These guys are tracking it down. We are looking into it so that nobody gets hurt. He doesn't come out charging. So we are waiting for jungle to give us clues. We are looking for them. pug mark.
Pug marks are basically imprints of the paws, one of the paws, the front or the rear, the left or the right, paws on soft ground, and it leaves a very distinctive imprint. It's almost like a fingerprint.
Small idiosyncrasies in the tracks which the tigers leave are sufficient to identify individuals. So you could identify based on a splay in the toe or a crack in the pad or just the size and shape of the pug mark and how the tiger walks. You could identify individuals, and it's an art.
As the hunters search for the man-eater, clues from the tigress's gathered pug marks reveal something unusual that could help to identify her and reveal the motive behind her killings.
Her left rear pug mark is trailing. Like when you walk, it's the impression of the left rear hind is less. It's an indication that there is an injury there.
And that could very well be a reason for a tigress to not be able to hunt wild prey and actually hunt prey which is easier. Human beings are the easiest thing to hunt on. Human beings don't run that fast.
Left, right.
But even with the pug marks showing the killer recently passed through this area of forest, the trail turns cold.
The tigress has disappeared. We are not seeing her fresh pug marks. We are not hearing any calls. The jungle is quiet.
They thought it was a cakewalk in the beginning, but patience that you need to hunt a tiger is not a cakewalk.
Still, the pug marks they found could prove critical. Over the past month, since the tiger took its first victim, Head Forestry Officer Dr. Braham has collected data on all the man-eater's footprints. Now, he hopes the clues he's found and some cutting-edge tracking technology will give him the edge he needs to capture her safely before more innocent people die.
Ultimately, the question is, what is the identity of this tiger? You cannot establish an identity unless you see a picture of the tiger. With a camera trap, there's a thermal and motion sensor in front of the camera that activates the camera day and night. If you move in front of the camera, a flash occurs, it's activated, and the animal is digitally captured. We'll be installing as many camera traps as possible along the border between, say, this Corbett and Najibabad forest.
But before the team is even able to finish setting their traps, the tigress strikes again. 2 more villagers, a man and a woman, die working inside Corbett Park, 2 miles southeast of the previous attack. The death toll is now 8. The public is terrified. Any one of them could be next. As day turns to night, expert hunter Ashish Dasgupta won't wait for the tigress to come to him. He and his team return to the forest, hoping to encounter the man-eater when it's on the hunt in the dark.
Night shooting is preferred while going after predators. At, let us say, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night, which is prime time for a predator to move around, you will possibly come face to face because that's the time he's out also stalking. We are using a method which is normally not followed in game hunting, in sportsman hunting, which is using a light and hunting at night. But when you're hunting a predator, all is fair. These are 3 million candle power searchlights which have a very distinct beam which is designed to blind a leopard or a tiger up to a distance of maybe 1,000 meters. It gives us the advantage of being able to visually view the animal we are going to target. Some say it's dangerous and they wouldn't want to try it. But I have had successful experience in this method of hunting.
बस 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 रुक 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 रुक
Jack all.
Still, even with all of Dasgupta's years of experience hunting man-eaters, after 2 weeks, he's unable to find any sign of the tigress.
We could not find anything that would convince us that the man-eater was still there. There were tigers there, but the man-eater was not there. When you know something is not existing, we have no business to be there inside the forest, and we should leave it undisturbed. That's what I believe. So I just figured I have no further business here, so I left.
They were combing the area day and night. Definitely the tiger can sense such a huge pressure. I did not see them go, but today if you ask me, yes, definitely I was happy. So then we could have a good attempt to capture her.
Then, just 2 days after the hunters give up their search, Brahma and his team receive word one of their camera traps has picked up the image of the killer tigress. It's a huge breakthrough, but it could also be a sign she's back on the hunt.
If again attack happens, it's going to be a big trouble for all of us.
On a mission to capture an elusive man-eating tigress, the mysterious queen, that's killed 8 people in just over a month, Forestry Officer Banik Brahma's discovered an important clue. One of his camera traps has captured the image of a tigress, and it may be the mysterious queen back on the prowl.
The place where we got a picture of the tiger, that was, I think, less than 3 kilometers from the human habitat, the village. So it was, yes, a sense of excitement was there, but a little alarmed a bit also.
He shares the image with Dr. Yadvendra Devjala, an expert in tiger stripe identification.
The good thing about tigers is that they have unique stripe patterns. So if you could photograph a tiger and record its stripe pattern in a digital format, you could compare that using softwares across several thousands of pictures. It's just like your fingerprint, basically. It's pattern recognition software, which allows you to do that.
The database produces a positive match, and her identity could provide a further motive for the killings.
They've cross-matched the tigress they found in this area with the tigress that was in Kalagarh in 2012. The tigress was very frail in 2012. In 2014, the pictures they found of the tigress, she looks much healthier.
In her formerly frail condition, younger, stronger tigers could have pushed the mysterious queen out of the forest into people's homes and villages. Another possible reason for her to prey on humans other big cats have avoided for centuries.
I think in the last 200 years there are no tiger attacks in that region. So people are caught off guard. I don't think they would believe that it is a tiger also, even if they see it. But when many people started dying, they chose to believe.
But before Brahma has time to make use of his new camera trap evidence, he gets multiple reports of tiger sightings in the area. The first is an attack miles away from the camera trap location. This could mean the tigress has already moved on to a new hunting ground. She may be too cunning for him to capture. The victim, Dharmendra Singh, was sitting 10 feet up in a tree when the tiger leapt up out of the sugarcane on the hunt for prey.
देखा भाग तो भी देखा चिपट रहा था तब भी देखा पट्टी हो रही दिखा रहे जा रहे हैं थोड़ा दिखा दे पे है पीछे दिखा पंजे लगा हुआ है
A tiger attack, a tiger roar can make the blood of the best man turn into water. When it starts attacking human beings, the person who relates the story puts in the chill and the fear of what he felt to all the people he reports to.
उधर से भागता है यहाँ चढ़ा इस पे और ये पकड़ने के निशान है देखिए इसके और यहाँ से फिर पलटा.
If the deadly tigress attacked Dharmendra here, far away from the camera trap location, Brahma has been searching in the wrong area, allowing the killer to take more victims. But he begins to suspect Dharmendra's attacker was actually a leopard, not a tigress. He needs solid evidence. To determine the size of the animal, he measures its stride, the distance each foot travels in a single step.
The strides that we have measured, 57 centimeters, it seems to be of a leopard. Most of the villagers do not have a sense of the difference between leopard, tiger and cheetah, so they use the same terminology for all. I would say I'm quite sure it's a leopard.
It's a wild goose chase, but Brahma has another lead to follow up. The second incident is a car accident involving a tigress, and it's close to where the killer's been stalking. He races to the scene. The killer mysterious queen's reign of terror could finally be over. The mysterious queen, a man-eating tigress, is on the loose in northern India. On a tip from local villagers, head forestry officer Bonik Brahma is heading to the scene of a car accident involving a big cat that could be the killer. On the scene, he discovers it is a big cat. But it's not a tiger, it's a leopard. The killer is still on the loose.
When we are overcome with something, a fear, everything else looks like, the same thing to us. So yes, people can be mistaken because they already have, preconceived notion about some impending danger caused by a so-called tiger.
Then, tragedy strikes again. Another villager, Lal Singh, dies in the border region of the forest. And there's no mistake, it's a Bengal tiger. The attack takes place even further outside Corbett Park than before. Proof the predator's hunting ground is expanding.
ये घटना ये लगभग हमारे पिताजी सुबह को जानवर लेकर निकले हम उन्हें ढूंढने के लिए निकले जब ढूंढने के लिए हम ढूंढने को 11-12 बजे उन्हें ढूंढा उसके बाद आई बारिश और बारिश आने के बाद हम जब कोई दूर चल के आगे हुई थोड़ी सी देर तब देखते तो फिर
The tigress has dismembered Lal Singh. Only his torso remains intact. With plenty of time to feed undisturbed, she ate her fill.
ये मेरे पिताजी हैं जिन्हें 6 फरवरी में शेर ने मार दिया ये क्या पता साहब ये तो बताते थे कि हमने काफ़ी शेरों को देखे और शेरों को हटाए भी भगाए भी उन्होंने ये क्या पता इन्हें जब इसी वजह से इन्हें थोड़ा सामना भी करा अरे ऐसे डरपोक आदमी कौन सामना कर लेता
Two months since the killing started, with the body count at 9 and the man-eater becoming more and more bold, the pressure on head forestry officer Dr. Braham to stop the tigress is greater than ever. Pug marks and camera trap photos reveal the area where the stealthy predator may still be hiding inside Corbett Park. The next step, strategically placing tiger cages to trap the beast.
We brought the cages and I started tracking the pug marks and identifying where we are going to put the cages.
But the mysterious queen may be too smart for a trap like a tiger cage.
The tiger is a very wily animal and they're very wily about anything man-made. Many times we have found pug marks and it has viewed the bait but just not entered the trap. It doesn't do it. That animal is sharp.
And then, with pressure to capture the killer queen at its peak, Brahma may finally get the break he needs. A camera trap captures not a still photo, but a video of a tigress stalking close to where the first camera trap photo was taken. And it looks like the mysterious queen.
The tigress was moving during the daytime, 2:30 and 11 o'clock. You see, man-eaters, they usually hunt during daytime because human population and cattle, are found during daytime.
It's all the evidence Brahma needs. And he can't afford to wait for the killer to enter a cage trap. It's time for a stakeout in the tigress's territory.
The elevated platforms, in the local parlance, they call it as machan in India. Basically, it's a wooden platform where you have to stay during the night or the day.
The chances of getting an animal sitting on a machan is very high by tying a live bait in that place, maybe a goat.
Still, no plan is foolproof, and the forestry department faces one more big decision that could seriously impact their success. When arming the shooter in the machan, will they attempt a risky capture with a tranquilizer dart? Or will they use a bullet and put the beast down?
Some people, I don't know, use the term between the devil and the deep sea. You have a duty towards the people of this country, and you have a duty to conserve wildlife also. You see, a tigress has a future for population increase also. And how do you balance between attempting to tranquilize and attempting to shoot down this problem animal? Only a vet can shoot the darting gun on the hind leg, the thigh portion of the tiger. If there is a mess up, the tiger can die also.
Tranquilizing, in my opinion, is not an option. If it doesn't attack you, it's going to run. It'll run into the bush, far away from you. You will not know where it is. So what have you achieved? Once an animal has turned into a man-eater, you cannot take the risk of playing around with human lives.
Fearing any potential for failure, the government authorizes the use of live ammunition. A shooter ascends to the platform and waits. A day passes. Night falls. And then... For the last 3.5 months, northern India has been terrorized by a man-eating Bengal tiger called the Mysterious Queen. She's attacked 12 people and killed and eaten 9. Her intelligence and elusiveness have defied both the country's best hunters and its most dedicated forestry officers. Now, after months of pursuit, with a hunter mounted high above the jungle floor, Forestry Officer Dr. Braham believes he may finally have the right time and place to put an end to the killer's relentless rampage. But the next morning, it's clear. The mysterious queen will not reveal herself. The jungle is silent. Has she moved on? Is she gone for good? Or is she just waiting for the next opportunity to attack? Three months later, the answer arrives. The killer queen is back. A 14-year-old boy is attacked and eaten. The serial killer tiger is still out there.
I will say that the danger still remains. Only time can tell what the outcome will be.
It's actually hunting human beings. I think the only way out is it has to be exterminated.
I fear that she might attack human beings again. This is the worst outcome that I can think of.